Yes.
Perfect. Hare Krishna. Good evening. Good morning to guests from US. Warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining today's journey, systematic study of Gita Amrutam Rasmalayam, which dwells into the wisdom of Gita. We are on chapter 7. We'll be completing chapter 7 today. Gnana Vijnana Yoga, knowledge of the Absolute. I start with offering obeisances to my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, my Shiksha Guru, His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji. Let's start with Sri Guru Pranam Mantra. Om Ajnanatirandasya Nananashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. With their blessings, I will endeavor to speak a few words on these important verses as we complete 7th chapter. We are all interested in going to Golokadham. That's why we have boarded the Goloka Express, which is going to take us through 18 chapters of Gita. We will be completing 7th chapter, as I mentioned earlier. Knowledge of the Absolute, and what are we going to study today? How Maya hides Krishna, and how bhakti, devotion, reveals him. Systematic study of Gita. We have been hearing this, so I'm trying to symbolize this. What does it stand for? It's not just about explaining the verses. It's going far beyond and above. We have pre-teaser quizzes. We have end of the session quizzes. We share emotional blogs so that you can understand what really devotion means in this age as we are speaking currently. It's not about stories from Satya Yuga or Treta Yuga only. So that gives you a contemporary taste of how devotion is alive and devotion is growing within the circle of devotees even today as we speak. And of course, the session like we are now having dwells deep into the context and wisdom of each verse. This is a journey of discovery. What is the chapter heading? A quick glimpse through. It is head. H for hearing, E for everywhere. E is accept or reject devotion to Krishna. And we are on the last section today, demigods and the Supreme Lord. We are going to briefly refresh what we studied in the last class because this is part 2. And we start with the sacred call. How Vaishnamata awakened my soul. This is my own life's experience. We faced crossroads in our lives when we were looking forward to our twins' birth. We were at a crossroad. On one side was medical advice. On the other side was our divine faith. The medical advice said, no go. The faith said, nothing doing. I want to go ahead. So we were victims of fear. Now, fear has two nicely explained connotations. This was first, I think, mentioned by Zig Ziglar. He used to say, fear, F-E-A-R, means face or forget everything and run. We were in that mode of fear, what to do because we were helpless. We didn't know who could support us, who could guide us. It was so bad that since all the medical reports showed that this is a complex case, no doctor was willing to represent us. And you won't believe, I went hunting for doctors. Saturday, Sunday, my job was who will treat my wife, who will help us go ahead with this. And then I found one Dr. Rita, who had a small nursing home of just 4 beds, unknown entity. We met her. Then I discussed with her, and she said she was a Christian. She was not a Sanatan Dharmi. She said, I have great respect for faith, whether it is Christ or Ram or Krishna. I don't really make any difference. And I have also gone through the same reports, and I find there is every possible chance of a normal delivery if you are able to go ahead with the pregnancy. So Faith lands you in challenging situations. Faith guides you to come out of the challenging situations. Today, the twins are alive and kicking. The Dr. Rita has a very, very successful gynec practice in Bangalore. She is as famous as you can get. So, what happened? What does devotion do to a devotee? The fear which said, forget everything and run, converts itself to face everything and rise. The same fear, negative connotation to positive connotation. And that's what happened in our lives. Then, fate. Fate is something which I had written a poem when I was a young kid. And I only remember it was a sonnet, but the last four words which defined what fate stands for. Fate stands for all to endeavor. So that was our condition that yes, we had lost all hopes, nothing seemed to be working, but we stuck to the task. That is faith. And we did it without show of much emotions. Many people around me, even in my own company, didn't know that we were going through a deep turmoil. So the whole purpose of sharing this is how devotion in any circumstance, in any age, will definitely come to the rescue of a devotee. Krishna never lets his devotee go astray. And what is the learning which I have to summarize? Krishna says, I am greater than your fear. He helped us to face everything and rise. Then he says, I am greater than your faith for all to endeavor. So, this is the personal example to motivate you, to give you that confidence that our efforts, our investment of intelligent and precious time in study of Gita is not just for doing sake. It is your life's anchor. It can bring you out, pull you up from any situation you may find yourself in. Hold your faith as firmly as you can. And today's verses are going to highlight this. Then we went through a pre-teaser quiz. I will take just one question and I want to, Prabhuji, can you help me? Anyone can raise your hands. I know this is an open book test, but I want to go through this question because more than 50% of the class got the answer wrong. And the question is, why do intelligent people sometimes misunderstand the true nature of the divine? It appeared to be a normal question. Now anyone can try. Prabhuji, you should help me whom to ask because I'm not able to see. Now, yeah, the screen is there. Now I can see. The, Let us go through the options.
So Saptadeep has raised his hand.
Saptadeep has raised his hand. So
And
Saptadeep,
Sumati
over to
Mataji
you.
has raised her hand.
Okay. You are the best judge, Prabhuji. I didn't see who raised first.
Yeah, Saptadeep has raised first, so we can go to him first.
Okay. Go ahead, Saptadeep. What is the right answer?
Yeah, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam, Hare Krishna. It's option B. He appears in a human-like form.
Very good. So when I had this question, I was not expecting this kind of a performance. But then this is Maya. This is delusion of Maya. 50% of the class got this wrong. All the other questions, fair performance, expected performance. But this was something which was a real eye opener to all of us. What is the learning? What is the essence? Like in our quiz, even in our daily lives, the veil of Maya comes in the way of recognizing Krishna, understanding how Krishna is. He may be appearing in front of us as a cowherd boy, but he is Krishna. He is the Supreme Lord. He is transcendental. He is not affected by any of the three modes. So, even if he comes in front of us as a human form, he continues to be the Supreme Lord. That was the essence of learning when I asked this question. What is the summary of going through the quiz, going through the blog where I shared a personal experience? there are four things which happens to us in parallel. One is purification. Your ego is cleansed because you surrender to the Lord. The devotion process, devotion journey starts. And the most important thing is realization. And what is realization? When do you and how do you decide to let go? Why did I support my wife against entire medical advice, including our own aunt? That is something which is unfathomable. It cannot be explained. We did it not because we had to set an example for anyone. We did it because it was our survival. And there was, in the midst of all darkness, one ray of hope which said, divine is far greater than any material challenge. And that is the inner realization. You need to have tremendous faith to risk the lives of your own children and say, oh God, save us. And God listens to our prayers and He saved us. That is realization. It comes from uh, an inner awakening. It doesn't happen if I read, if I listen, if I tell, if I give you homework. No, the realization is within. And it comes with such force that no medical advice could scare us, no medical advice could make us change our opinion. That is realization. And what does that realization lead to? Attainment of Krishna is the highest stage. At least for us, it was we are surrendered to the Lord. So all of us, when we attempted the blog or we read the blog and we attempted the quiz, this is the process of 4 steps that we all have passed through. There is something which is recorded in your minds. Each one of is unique. You take away something, I take away something, but the clock starts ticking within. And that's how we grow in devotion and bhakti. So with this summary, I will now quickly recap the 4 verses that we completed in the last class. Here it is. 7.23, which was prior to last class. So I had refreshed this when I started the last class, which said, Antavat tu phalam tesam tad bhavati alpamedasam. Devan deva yajo yanti mad bhakta yanti mamapi. Krishna says, if you worship anyone else other than me, you are actually worshipping me, but not in the right way. Tad bhavati alpamedasam. So you have less intelligence. If you can eat in front of yourself, with your hands in front of your mouth, one way of doing it, you can eat by taking the hand all the way around and also put that into your mouth. So the choice is yours. So we must take away this lesson that Krishna is advising us to pray to Him, to pray and surrender unto Him. What is the core insight? 1 second. Yeah. Devan deva yajo yanti. So what Krishna says in this verse is, those who worship devatas go to devatas, go to devaloka. Now, you may be wondering, there is a blog which said, I surrender first myself to Vaishno Devi, and from there, I came into Krishna Bhakti. So what is missing? Or is there anything wrong? No. When we went to Vaishno Devi, we went with faith that you save us. We didn't go to Vaishno Devi asking us for material prosperity. That's the difference. When you pray to a demigod or a devata, if you pray for a material benediction, then Krishna says you are alpamedasam. But if you pray to Vaishno Devi or any devata, Devi, and say that, please give me protection. That's why I titled the quiz as saying, the journey from protection to perfection. When you do that, even Vaishno Mata blessed us with further enhancement of our devotion. So we moved with her blessings into Krishna Bhakti. So that's also another path. There are so many paths to find Krishna Bhakti. This was the path that we followed. Mad Bhakta Yanti Mam. So those who worship me attain me alone. So only at the age of 46 years, I came into Krishna consciousness. Until then, I was a firm religious person, a firm devotee, having deep faith. So, Devatas, when you pray with pure intentions, bless you to go into Krishna Bhakti. That is what happened in our lives. So, the insight from this verse is what we seek determines where we reach. If you pray for material prosperity, you will get material prosperity. If you pray for protection, you will get protection. From protection, you can start the journey towards perfection in life of Krishna Bhakti with the blessings of demigod. So you should have the awareness and the distinction of what I am doing when I'm offering my prayers. The next two verses. What does Krishna tell us in 7.24 and 7.25? He says, please recognize for what I am. Don't go by my appearance. I am in a human-like form. I am a cowherd boy. I was born in Vrindavan, but I am Krishna always and forever. He says, Avyaktam Vyaktim Apannam Manyate Mam Abuddhayaha Param Bhavam Ajananto Mam Avyayam Anuttamam. Mam Avyayam Anuttamam. I am imperishable. I am supreme. There is nothing to beat me. And if you do not understand this, then you will continue to be in the zone. It's a twilight zone. You are neither here nor there. There are millions of people who read the same Bhagavad Gita as it is, and they are unable to understand who is Krishna. They will give you all kinds of answers except for saying he is the Supreme Lord. Is this so difficult for us to understand? But that is Maya. That is how we are in illusion. That is why it is called delusion by Maya. In 7.24, he says, Param Bhavam Ajananto. They do not know my supreme nature. Why? In the next verses, he will say, because they are covered by my Yoga Maya. Mam Avyayam Anuttamam. Avyayam, remember and mark these words in your permanent memory. He is imperishable. He was there in the beginning, he is there in the middle, he will be there forever. He is eternal. The sun may rise and sun may set. Krishna is eternal, ever existing, and he is the finest, transcendental. No modes can ever affect him because the modes emanate from him. In 7.25, he gives us further clarity for people who do not understand or who want to understand. What is that I have to do to see Krishna with the right pair of eyes and the right pair of ears? He says, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya. I am not manifest to everyone. He says, I reserve the choice to whom I reveal my understanding. And whom does he reveal this understanding? To the one who surrenders. Surrender is one when you raise your hands and say, Oh Krishna, hey, help me. Oh Krishna, save me. Yoga Maya Samamrita. Why are most of us are in this delusion, illusion of Maya? He clearly tells us that I am covered by my own energy of Yoga Maya. What does the Yoga Maya do? The Yoga Maya is the illusion that increases the devotion for a devotee and decreases the devotion for a non-devotee. It's a veil which comes in front of Krishna. Krishna remains the same, but one pair of eyes cannot see him. Another pair of eyes can see him very, very clearly. So these two verses gives us an understanding. If you're seeking one, we are devotees. We have firm belief that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Wake me up in the middle of the night, the answer doesn't change. Middle of the day, the answer doesn't change. But there are millions of people who do struggle to understand this. For them, Krishna has spoken these two verses and says, please understand my transcendental nature. Let's go to the next verse, 7.26 and 7.27. Desire and duality. Both of them are within us. This is not a battle to be fought externally. Krishna, that's why calls Arjuna as Parantapa. He says, you are most feared warrior on the battlefield, O Arjuna, but then you are being weakened by your own internal developments, internal tendency to go by what your mind desires and what your mind averses. He says in 7.26, Vedaham samatitani. He says, I know the past, I know the future, I know the entire time span, past, present, and future. In 7.27, he gives us the real insight as to why we are under delusion of Maya, why we are under illusion by Maya. And he gives us two powerful words which will define the path, the roadmap as to how we can come out of this illusion. And please understand, Krishna later on tells us that I want you to endeavor. Nothing comes just by sitting in one place. What are the two things which causes this delusion? Ichha, Dvesha, Samutena. So he says this illusion is born because of desire and aversion that is so deeply ingrained within you. Now, what is this Ichha? What is this Dvesha? We discussed this as an example in the last class. Desire is something which you love to have. You go to a nice dinner party or a lunch party, you are looking for, because you have a sweet tooth, you're looking for the choicest sweets. I mean, it could be a gulab jamun, rasgulla, rasmalai, etc. But when you walk into that room and you see the spread is delicious, but none of the sweets that you want are there on the table. So what happens? You are disappointed. You had a desire to savor the best of sweets and it is not there. Then you go back and say, oh, well, I enjoyed the lunch and dinner, but then I didn't get what I wanted. This is desire. You can create millions of examples in your mind when your desire is at play. Aversion, what happens? You go to the same party where you have decided that for heaven's sake, I hope and pray that I don't have a sabji which is made of bitter gourd or karela. I don't like that and I don't want that. And so you're very clear in your mind as to what you like and what you don't like. And in that party, you find there is Karela sabji and there is Karela, one or two or three more dishes nicely adorning the table. What happens? You want to enjoy the spread, but your mind says, oh no, I don't like this Karela sabji. So your mind is averse to that. Whatever spread we give you, it doesn't satisfy you because your mind is hung upon, I don't like bitter gourd. Now, what should you do to overcome this? Now, I will speak that also. For example, I'll give you my own example. I don't like paneer. I don't like Karela. Very clear from childhood. But once I stepped into Krishna consciousness, I realized that Krishna is a lover of cows and cow products. Today, I may not eat paneer and relish it as all of you, but I don't mind having 2 or 3 pieces, and I will never say I don't want paneer. Give me few pieces. This is how you overcome your aversion. I don't like Karela, but I was told that Radharani loves Karela. That was enough to ring a bell, and I said, however bitter it could be, I will never refuse Karela, I will have Karela. So this is the endeavor that is required. Yatanti te in the next verses tells us, if you endeavor, I will help you come out of this illusion. Let's go. Then last, Then he says, you now know what is causing the illusion. Then he says, Sarva Bhutani Sammoha. There is no distinction here. It is not like that I am born in this part of the world, so I will have less ichha. You are born in that part of the world, so you will have more aversion. No. Irrespective of where you are, irrespective of what ashrama you come from, varna you come from, these two are present in equal measure. There is no impartiality by Krishna. Sarva Bhutani Sammoha. Samyak Rupena Sammoha is Sammoha. These two things create the dvandva, the duality. You are always torn between I like this and I don't like this. So this is what causes the dvandva, the conflict within us that is constantly going on. Now, you may be wondering, well, delusion and illusion, Maya looks now more or less slightly better understood, but do I really have an example by which I can get more clarity? So the acharyas give this example. They say that if you step into a movie hall, that is the first sarvabhutani sammoha. You know that it is a movie. You know that it is illusion. For 3 hours, you are lost in this world, but still you go there willingly. Nobody has pulled you into a movie hall. It's your choice. So the first step of illusion has started. After you step into the movie hall, what happens? You start getting into the roles. You become the hero, you become the villain for a minute, hero for a minute. And when the hero bashes the villain, you're happy, and vice versa. When the villain bashes the hero, you're unhappy. So this is how the illusion grows up upon you. You know that it is a movie hall, you know that the characters are fictitious, but still you become one with the movie. This is an example to understand Dvandva Mohena Bharata. You are in that role willingly, and then you get carried away by what's happening there and your emotion. There are many people who come out with tears. So there, when there is a very sad thing which is happening in the movie, you cry. When there is great amount of joy that is being shown, you start laughing. So all these things happen, and he says this is the root cause. If you are able to control your icha, you are able to control your dvesha, you will be able to manage the delusion by Maya. So we should take this as a learning. And now we step into the next 3 verses of the day. Quick summary. First verse, he says, I am not impersonal. I am not Brahmajyoti. I am a person like you. Remember that. Then he says, what creates this illusion? Because the Lord has Yogamaya potency. That is what creates a veil in front of a non devotee, and that same Yogamaya reveals Krishna to us because you are a devotee. Trapped by duality, trapped by Icha and Dvesha, we continuously struggle for existence in this world. So, if we are aware today what we should do, if I know that I must reduce my aversion, you can do it with endeavor. So, the word is endeavor. Nothing happens by chance. You cannot gain knowledge by sitting in a room, keeping Bhagavad Gita in the God's altar and say that, oh Krishna, please bless me with knowledge. Krishna says, yes, I will give you the desire to open the Gita. Read the Gita, understand the Gita, then the knowledge is yours. Keeping Gita and praying for it every day doesn't really help you much. Except that you have at least covered the first step in surrender. You recognize Gita as Supreme Lord's form. That is fine. But endeavor, effort, intention, desire to open it, read it, understand it, then Gnana becomes Vijnana. So that is in your hands. That effort has to come from yourself. The first verse of the day, 7.28. We start with an example. There is a dusty mirror. So very well made mirror, costly one, and the person who owned it was using it for quite a few years, and then suddenly started realizing that my image is getting blurred. I'm not able to see my image as I am. I'm quite a handsome guy, but then this mirror has become faulty. A friend of his comes home and tells him, my dear sir, it is not the fault with the mirror. Why don't you see there is a nice thin layer of dust on the mirror? Just take a clean cloth and wipe it clean. You will get back to see your reflection as it was few years back. This mirror is as good as new. Then the realization comes. So, where is Krishna? It is like the mirror. Krishna is within us. Krishna is in front of us, but we are not able to see him. Our most ardent desire is to be with Krishna, but we are not able to see Krishna. Why? Because of the contamination, the dust, the veil that has come up between us and Krishna. The Icha and Dvesha. We are, always trying to chase material prosperity at the cost of spiritual growth. That's where you get into this dusty mirror syndrome. What is within you, what is in front of you, you still don't recognize. Let's go through the verse. येषां तु अन्तगतं पापं जनानां पुण्यकर्मणां ते द्वन्द्वमोहनिर्मुक्ता भजन्ते मां दृढव्रतः. Mark these words. Bhajante mam drudhavrataha. Nothing comes easy. You have to be determined. Qualifications to do determined bhakti. Now Krishna is giving you clear picture of what is required to pursue devotional service. Persons who have acted piously in the previous lives, this is Sukruti, and who continue to do this in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. Bhajante mam drudhavrataha. Worship me with firm determination. I will not name the student who is amidst us right now, who has shared that there were situations in life where the family does not recognize the devotion that you have and create hurdles in your path. But what is the redeeming factor is this devotee stood up to the challenges, maneuvered around the situation, never gave up hope, and continued to pursue the path of devotion. That is a living example of bhajante mam drudhavrataha. You have to be determined to follow the path of devotion. There could be challenges. You cannot say, I gave up because my father told me to give up. I did this because my mother said, oh, well, worshipping Hanuman is more important than worshipping Krishna. What your mother says is important from that context, from that point of view. What is more important is that what do you do with that knowledge? Compare it with Gita, compare it with Bhagavatam, speak to knowledgeable people and understand what is that I need to be doing, what should be my choice. Then Krishna will lead you to the path of Krishna Bhakti. Let us go through the explanation. So 4-step ladder. Eradicate sin. This is where the 4 regulative principles come into play. Perform pious acts. So we should try to move away from the path of passion and the path of ignorance. So the regulative principles become your guardrail. Freedom from duality. Understand, try to reduce your desire and aversion. We cannot achieve perfection in day one. It is a journey. Determined devotion. Drudha vrataha. We must be determined to pursue the path in spite of challenges on the way. Esam tva antagatam papam. For those who have given up sinful actions. Jananam punya karmanam, who are persons engaged in pious activities. In Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 5th canto, this is a beautiful verse which says, Mahat sevam dwaram ahur vimukte. We have to serve the great souls. That is where association of devotees help us. Why are we together here as Gitamrutam Rasamalayam? We could have also sat in the room and, listened to a recording and understood Gita. But when you have this interaction, when someone is speaking live to you, you have better absorption of the philosophical content in Gita. So when we are together, we are serving each other. I am speaking, you are listening. Both of them are service to the Lord. Tamodwaram yositam sangi sangam. Give up the association of non-devotees, materialistic people. I'll give you a live example. I have a Rakhi sister of more than 25 years. Every year we meet for Rakhi, and she has never forgotten to tie Rakhi to me. But previously, our interactions used to be on the material platform, and we were very close to each other. The day I started getting more and more into devotional service, we started drifting apart. We now meet maybe once or twice in a year because for her, worshipping the Devi is far more important to listening to Gita or listening to what Krishna says. She says, I don't believe your Alpamedasam philosophy. Leave me to live my life on my own. You continue on your path. Both of us wish all the best to each other. So, what happened? We have to reduce the association of non-duality. It can happen naturally, and then you are freed from the delusion of dualities. Work on it, you will reach there. Bhajante mam drudavrataha. Underline these words. Determination is what determines success. No magic formula. You have deep faith, Krishna will take you. There is a nice story which says, there's a man who's hanging from the tree. And he prays to Krishna. He shouts, Oh, Krishna, please help me. My hands are giving away and now I'm going to fall. And the branch also looks like it's going to break. And Krishna says, Don't worry, my friend, just leave the branch and fall in peace. He says, How can I do that? I will fall and break my bones if I hit the ground from this height. The moment this is the reply, Krishna says, You have no faith in me. What Krishna would have done, Krishna knows. But do we have the faith? No. When he is telling us to give up, leave the branch, both your hands, we still say no. I want to be sure that you are going to protect me. This will not take you far. Bhajante mam drudavataha. You have to give up when the Krishna says give up. That is faith. What is the day-to-day learning for us? 4 steps. Don't get into sinful acts. Easier said than done. Try to reduce, try to minimize, and consciously think that, oh, well, this is what I should not do. I am doing it. Automatically, the curve starts going down. Freedom from dualities. Try to reduce your icha, try to reduce your dvesha. It doesn't happen in a day. It takes months and years, but it is fine. We are sadhakas. We are on the path of devotion. That helps us in purification, and that is the qualification for devotional service. Next verse. Jara marana mokshaya mam ashritya yatantiye. Mark this word, yatantiye. Te brahma tad vidu krishnam adhyatmam karma chakilam. Krishna is saying, remember, so this is the moksha kami bhakta. We will see how Krishna is giving us the definition of a 5th kind of his devotee. Translation. Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me. Remember, mark the words, intelligent persons in devotional service. They are actually Brahman. If by just surrendering to Krishna, he says, they are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. We are all here because we are aware that we are not this body, we are the soul. This knowledge takes us to the Brahman platform. That is what Krishna is saying in this verse. Now, I mentioned to you, in 7.16, Krishna said, Artho, Jigyasu, Artharthi, Gnani are the 4 kinds of devotees who surrender to me. Now, Krishna is adding the 5th kind of devotee. He says, Mokshakami Bhakta. The one who is intelligent, who is aware that material well-being, it could be health, wealth, family, children, whatever you have to live well and nicely in this world, all that is not the right knowledge. praying for improving your material status, material structure, material well being is not going to lead you far, because all of us are born with the death sentence. Jara Marana Moksha. We all, it is determined, it is written, it cannot be, even 1 second, you cannot change your destiny. The death is going to happen at that particular time. But how many of us are looking at this reality? I'm not telling you a story. This is true for every living being in this world, but we live as though we are eternal beings. We think that, well, Jara Marana is old age. Let me think of it when I become old. But it could be too late for you to understand that you may not have the time required to understand the philosophy beyond devotional service. Krishna is saying Jara, Marana, Moksha. Between Jara, old age, and Marana, death, there is Vyadi, disease. We are afflicted by millions of diseases. Do we have a cure? No. And we do not even focus on this, thinking that, what do I do for old age? Many people have asked me, why did you move to Vrindavana? I tried to tell them many answers. None of them hit the target. But when I said, I have gone to Vrindavan to pursue death, there is a stunned silence in the material world or materialistic people around me. They say that, well, this is something which we cannot understand nor we can think about. Because if you do not do this now, when is the time? Try to live in a dham so that you are always, your energies are focused on Krishna. Does it happen easily? It doesn't happen easily. Does it happen that, we took a parachute from Bombay and landed in Vrindavana? No, it took years of work. Is it the end of the world? It is not the end of the world. We are also aware of that. We are just creating another opportunity for us to offer services to the Lord Krishna. So, what are the four devotees he told in 7.16? He says, Artho, Jigyasu, Artharthi, Gnani. Now he's added Moksha Kami to that. So, the essence of learning is you should be materially qualified. You should use your intelligence for material well-being, but you should be aware of what is your end goal. You are progressing to it steadily, continuously, constantly, every living second. If that is the fact, then what is the endeavor we are doing to find out what does Krishna say, how we should face old age and death? He's giving us, he says, Mam Ashritya. You must take shelter of me. Can I take shelter? Can I wait for the time, oh, I will retire, then I will take shelter of Krishna? If you want to do it, choice is yours. Yatanti, he says, these are the most important words. Those who endeavor. Without endeavor, nothing can happen. If you want to take shelter of Krishna, start reading, start understanding, start consulting. No, surrender at the feet of knowledgeable people and say, how do I do it? It is not as easy as it appears. We all feel after retirement, I have all the time in the world, I can do it. It doesn't happen that way. And if we are able to understand this, Krishna then says, Te Brahma Tad Vidu Krishnam. They are pure devotees. They are transcendently situated on the Brahman platform. It is so reassuring for all of us to know that today, when we are spending this 1 hour on a Gita class, we are investing our intelligence to understand what Krishna has asked us to do, because we are one day inevitably going to face old age, disease, and death. Dharma, Artha, Kama. Very, very well understood. Whole life is spent behind that. But Krishna says you should also remember moksha is important. The very fact that a person who is a devotee understands that I'm not this body, I would request people to go on mute, please. We are not this body, we are the soul. The moment you have this Atma Jnana, you know that death is not the end, death is the beginning. This body gets into another body depending on what karma you have delivered. That is Te Brahma Tad Vidu Krishna. Vidu is to know, Krishna is completely. Krishna says if you have this understanding, you are already situated on the Brahman platform. He says, Adhyatmam karma chakilam. They have understood the spirituality of a human being's life. They have the knowledge, they have the action. They will never endeavor beyond what is required for survival. Whatever little time I have left, I would rather use it for chanting, visiting temples, offering my services to the Lord, praying ardently that please accept me at your lotus feet. The word Adhyatmam will be explained in more detail in the next chapter, 8th chapter. We come to the last verse of the day. We'll start with not one, two stories. The miser's end. You can all guess the story by looking at this picture. Here is a man who was a successful businessman. He led his entire life chasing success, and he had more than what he could use in his lifetime. So he was so busy in acquiring or in accumulating material wealth, material prosperity, he did not really spend any time for spiritual growth. So when it was the last moment, few moments left, all his relatives are surrounding him. They are praying for him so that he has a peaceful passing away. And this old man is asking, can you tell me where are the keys to the locker? Just imagine, even at the last breath, he is thinking about what is there in the locker. Now, this is the essence of learning in this verse. Against this, there is a devotee who also is old and he is on the deathbed awaiting death. And for him, nobody needs to tell him what he should be doing. He is busy and happily chanting Hare Krishna, and he is willing to welcome death. What is the difference between the two? The difference between the two is what you practice throughout your life only is going to happen at the last minute. There is no miracle. You cannot say that, oh, well, it is such a simple formula. All that I have to do is that Antakale. So I will wait for the last minute and then will say Hare Krishna. If it were to be so easy, then all of us would have been delivered. After the practice, we still have to pray to Krishna that you help us remember you at the last minute. And it's only by his mercy that we can remember him. So the purpose of his telling us this is, please start doing whatever you wish to do now and not later. There's another beautiful story of Khatwang Maharaj. He is a brilliant king, very ferocious warrior. Even Devatas sought his support to win battles. He once went to the Devaloka, he indulged in a fierce war, and they won the war. Devatas were so happy with his contribution, they said, Khatwang Maharaj, can you ask a benediction? He said, can you give me moksha? I don't want to be reborn again in this world. The Devatas said, sorry, Khatwang Maharaj, we would love to give it to you, but that is beyond us. It's only in the hands of Mukunda, Govinda, and not us. But we still insist you must ask for one benediction. Khatwang Maharaj was a very, very smart devotee. He says, okay, fine. Can you tell me how much time do I have in this life? Look at the intelligence. Even this intelligence is gifted by Krishna to ask the right question at the right time. Because of this question, he attained Krishna. The Devata said, oh, that we can tell you because we have that knowledge, we have that intelligence. You are going to live for 24 muhurtas. One muhurta is around 48 minutes. Then Khatwang Maharaj calculates. He says, by the time I reach from Devloka to Bhuloka, it will be 12 muhurtas gone. I have only 12 muhurtas left, which is approximately half a day. He sat in one place, closed his eyes, and remembered Krishna in complete surrender. And yes, Khatwang Maharaj attained Krishna. So, If you are in the league of Katwang Maharaj, you can afford to wait till the last to pray to Krishna. But most of us are not in that league. We should know that, yes, if we continue praying throughout our life, it is far easier to remember Krishna at the time of death than, like Katwang Maharaj, to pray to him at the last minute. So we have both examples in front of us. We must choose what is appropriate, adequate for us. What is our qualification? We are Kanishta Bhaktas. We are sadhakas on the journey of bhakti. So we should follow the path of a pure devotee who will chant, who will remember, who will serve throughout his life, so that at the minute of death, it becomes far easier. And Krishna will bless us with his mercy. The verse, Sadi Bhuta Adi Daivam Mam Sadi Yagnam Chaye Viduhu Prayana Kale Pichamam Te Vidur Yukta Chetasaha. Mark these words, Prayana Kale Pichama. You can remember me at the time of death. So what is Jara Marana Moksha? That is possible if you are able to remember Krishna at the time of death. Whatever thoughts come to us at the time of death is the body that we are going to be blessed with. We have seen this with Bharat Maharaj example, which was very well explained by Shyam Chandra Prabhu in a couple of classes back. Those who know me as. So Krishna is now introducing three new terms. Let's see what they are. He says, those in full consciousness of me who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of material manifestation of the demigods and of all methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death. So he says, Adi Bhuta. This is the physical, temporary, material world we see. Adi Daiva, demigods who manage. They are his special officers who manage the entire universe. Krishna is not involved whatsoever. But he is the Supreme Lord. He is Adi Yajna. Whatever sacrifices you offer, all the sacrifice results, offerings go to Lord Krishna. Now you will be wondering, how do I understand Adi Daiva, Adi Bhuta, Adi Yajna? To give you a classic example, all of us have a phone. So what is this phone? Phone represents Adi Bhuta, the material manifestation. It is a communication tool. What is Adi Daiva? The network, the towers, the software, backend, whatever the waves that is used to transmit this is all Adi Daiva. So someone is managing the connectivity between one phone to another, unseen, unheard. You don't see, you only see a phone. So Adi Daiva is easy to see, recognize. Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva is something which is happening behind the scenes. And Adi Yajna is the Supreme Lord. In the case of our telephone example, the owner, which could be Sunil Mittal, Mukesh Ambani, whoever runs these telecom companies, they are Adi Yajna's equivalent. In the material universe, the matter is Adi Bhuta. The managers who manage the thing, sorry, the Devatas, they are the managers. It's called the three M's. And the master is the Supreme Lord. So Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, Adi Yajna. These are the three terms which we will go through in detail in the 8th chapter. What did we start the chapter with? We started with this verse where Krishna says, the Supreme Personality of God, it said, now hear, O son of Prada, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. So practicing bhakti, that is the absolute knowledge. That is what Krishna started the first chapter, first verse in this chapter. And we are now concluding this chapter. In this verse, in 2.72, he says, this is the way of spiritual and godly life after attaining which a man is not bewildered. We are not worried of death as a devotee because we know what is death. If one is thus situated, even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. So as devotees, we have that chance to pray to the Lord at the last minute and achieve Krishna. So this devotional service is most important for us to move from delusion by Maya to perfection of Krishna. Prayana kale api chama. We still have a chance if you practice this throughout your life. So this is the screen which tells us what are the 6 things that we learned in 7.29 and 7.30. We learned about Brahman. He says, Te Brahma Tad Vidu Krishnam. Vidu is to know Krishnam is completely. That fact that we know that we are not this body and we are the soul, he says you are on the Brahman platform. Then he says, Adhyatmam Karma Chakilam. The death is that thing which whatever karma that you have rendered in this life will carry forward to your next life. The next body comes from Adhyatmam Karma Chakilam. Then he tells us about Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, Adi Yagya, which we have seen, we have explained earlier. Ye Mam Vidu. Vidu means to know. Those who know me as Sa Adi Bhuta, that is the material world, material manifestation. Then he says, Sa Adi Yagyam, who knows me as the so Adi Yagyam is the man who accepts all the results of sacrifices, and Adi Daivam is principle of demigods. They are the people who are managing this universe. Prayanikale apichama. What is the essence of all this devotional service is we must remember Krishna at the time of death. We all want to go to Goloka. We all have boarded the Goloka Express. And if I were to ask you in a quiz, what is that one thing we must do to achieve Goloka? Prayana kale apichama. I should remember Krishna at the time of death. And that can happen with his mercy. And right through our lives, we have a rendered devotional service. If you remember him throughout your lifespan, at the time of death, it is far easier. They vidur yukta chesasa. They know me as their minds are engaged in me. There can be no magic formula that you will remember Krishna at the end of your life until you have practiced it throughout your life. Why? Your minds are always engaged in Krishna. So that will continue even at the time of death. I have a small video. If it plays, let us see. Then we go to the quiz.
1 मिनट कहां कौन से काल घटना घटेगी, हमारा सब कुछ छूट जाएगा। अटैची हर समय तैयार रखो, जाने वाली तैयार रखते हैं, छाती में रखते हैं हर समय तैयार, भीतर और बाहर दोनों जगह। मरने की तैयारी रखो। अपनी बात नहीं, हमारे गुरुदेव राधा नाम, और पलट के देखो ये प्रसादी, ये रज, और ये हमारे इष्ट का प्रसादी वस्त्र लंगोटी, राधा वल्लभ लाल की लंगोटी, वृंदावन की रज, गुरुदेव का प्रसादी चीर वस्त्र, गुरुदेव राधा नाम। कहीं भी प्राण छूटे तो तुम्हें रज लगाने की जरूरत नहीं, शरीर में लगी है वो हमारे पास।
So this is what Premanand Baba says, that you should be prepared for death by having a kit with you. He says, attache. Keep it with you so that you never know when death comes upon us, and at that time we remember the Lord. What we should,
1 मिनट कहां कौन से काल
we should chant Hare Krishna Maha.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
What is our shelter all time? Chant Hare Krishna Maha.
Hare Rama,
Perfect understanding.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
This
Krishna,
is
Hare
a
Krishna.
shelter for us as Krishna devotees. Quick recap. The Lord is personal and he is not left any doubts, he's not hinting it to you. He's not giving you a clue. He is very clearly defining that I am personal, I am transcendental, I am imperishable. Illusion is a condition. It's like a dust layer on the mirror. There is nothing wrong. We are not born with a flaw. We just have developed a condition because of Maya. Action dictates your vision. So from protection to perfection of Krishna's service, that is the journey of a soul. You are covered by Maya, but we can consciously come out of this Maya and turn towards Krishna in devotion. That is the essence of learning of this chapter. Now, I have a movie which it can play for 2 or 3 minutes, but I don't want to play it now. I'll send it on the group. You can watch it at your leisure. We will go to the quiz. Love of and for Krishna is beyond all wealth of this world. This I will explain the story, then you can play it at your leisure. This old man has, imagine he's such a lucky person that Krishna comes to him every day and they chit chat happily with one another. That is the loving bond that they have. But this man is very poor, and Krishna says, I want to help you. He doesn't tell him what he does. He goes and tells the king in the dream that you go and give all the wealth to this old man because he has no money, he has a child to marry, and he has a lot of financial commitments. And the king comes and offers all the wealth to him. He says, Krishna has told me to give it to you. I want to give it to you. This old man says sorry, because the moment the king walks into the house, he sees Thakurji, Krishna, walking away from the house. So he says, I don't want your wealth because the moment you came into my house, Krishna disappeared. Then the king is disappointed, insulted, and he goes back and takes his wealth back. The moment he goes back, Krishna walks into the house. Then he says, oh, Krishna, I don't want any wealth in this world. I know I have responsibilities. I know you will take care of them also, because a mother will always nourish her child. And I am your child, though I am poor, but I want to be in your company always. That is surrender. See this very nicely made clip. With that,
और ठाकुर जी कुंभनदास जी से कह रहे
we'll move to the quiz. Thank you. So, right knowledge, the knowledge of absolute, is very important for us to progress on the path of bhakti. We must always be at his lotus feet, never leave his lotus feet. Quiz time. Now, let me expand the view. Welcome, one and all. Here we go. First question. In verse 7.24, Krishna states that unwise, he calls them abuddhayaha, mistakenly perceives nature. He also defines it. He says, avyaktam vyaktim apannam. Why does he categorize their understanding this way? Why does he call them alpamedasam? First choice, because they believe supreme reality transitions from an unmanifest state into a temporary material human manifestation. Because they believe the supreme reality transitions from a manifest human state into an unmanifest impersonal spiritual essence. Third, because they believe the supreme reality transitions from purely material energy into temporary demigod manifestation. Fourth choice, all of the above. Fifth choice, none of the above. I saw Saptadeep. Over to you now. I see Sumati. But Prabhuji, am I right? It was
Correct,
Saptadeep
Prabhu.
who raised his hand.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Sumati Mataji, you will have to wait for your turn. Over to you, Saptadeep.
Hare Krishna, Guruji, Dandavat Pranam. It's option A.
You are sure?
Because, yes, Prabhuji.
लॉक किया जाए.
Yes,
Go
Prabhuji.
through carefully. If you are sure, I'll lock it. Go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Done.
Right.
The correct answer is, close your eyes, open it, A. Well done. So you start with a bang, 50 brownie points. Well done, Saptadev. Second question. In Gita 7.25, what mechanism does Supreme Lord remain unmanifest to foolish and unintelligent? Is it because of Maya, the external material energy? Is it because of Ahankara, the false ego of the living entity? Yogamaya is eternal, internal divine potent energy. Kala, the cycle of eternal time. I saw Abhijit, I saw Saptadeep, I saw Janvi. I don't know who raised it first.
I
I
think,
saw Sumati also.
yeah, I think she raised first and she also had raised last time.
Correct. Over to you, Sumati Mataji.
Hello, his
Think she's on.
internal potency, the Yogamaya, C.
See, sure?
Yeah.
Let me lock it. Shall I go ahead?
Yes.
Okay. And the correct answer is C, Yogamaya. Well done. So 2 out of 2. Fantastic. Good going so far. Third question. Krishna claims absolute knowledge of the past, present, and future, as well as of all living entities. What does he state regarding our knowledge of him? Option 1, I see Sumati Mataji has already raised her hands. Only those who reach the stage of Gnana Yoga can completely know him. Second hand goes up. No one, not even a pure devotee, can ever know him. Ramesh also has raised his hand. He is known only to the demigods who manage the universe. No one among the bewildered, conditioned souls knows him. Now, I have seen Sumati Mataji, Saptadeep, they were first, then Ramesh raised it last or third. But since we have already given it to Sumati Mataji and Saptadeep, shall I give it to Ramesh Prabhuji?
Prabhu, I have a suggestion here
Huh.
because, both Sumati Mataji and Saptadeep are on tie as far as scores are concerned. So we have to get a clear winner also at the end of this
Okay.
scoring session. So we
Okay.
can give it to one
Okay.
of them of your choice. Whom
Right.
you want to give?
Oh my God, you put me in difficult position.
So Sumati Mataji had raised first. So if you want to go by that, you can give it to her.
Okay. Fine. I will go by what Prabhuji says. Sumati Mataji, over to you.
The answer is B, Prabhu. No one, not even a pure devotee, can ever know him.
You're very sure?
I think that is the one.
Shall I lock it?
Yes, please.
Oh, there is one more choice. None of the above. You can even choose that.
I'll still stick to B only.
Perfect. Close your eyes and open it. And here is the right answer. D. No one among the bewildered conditioned souls knows him.
Oh, okay.
Fine, no issues. Well tried. But this is the learning for us. It looks, he's, no, what you said, no one, not even a pure devotee, but then the right answer is D, not D.
No
Next
one
question,
knows him. Yeah.
right? Next question. 7.27. What is the root cause of delusion, moha, that causes all living entities to be born into this material world? Option 1. The lack of desire for formal education in Vedic conclusions. The force of dualities of desire and hate, Ichcha, Dvesha. The desire to enjoy physical elements of earth, water, fire, and air. Forgetting one's duties, dharma, in past life. Now I really missed who raised the hands first, Prabhuji.
So Manisha had raised first and Ramesh had raised second. So the choice is
Okay.
yours. Ramesh had raised last time also. But whatever you decide.
Right. So we'll have to be consistent. Since he has made an attempt in the last question, I would request Manisha to hold and fight for the fifth question. I'll give it to Ramesha. Over to you, Ramesha.
Hare Krishna. It is B, the B for Bangalore, the force of dualities of desire and hate.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Shall I lock it?
Please.
Okay. Oh, sorry. There's none of the above also if you want to reconsider.
I'll stick to it, B.
Okay, open your eyes and close it. The correct answer is B. Well done. So, with that, we head into the last question of the quiz round. In 7.28, Krishna outlines a very specific condition required for a person to be freed from the delusion of dualities and engage in steady devotion. What is it? They must have completely eradicated the sinful action, mesam tu antagata papam, through pious deeds. They must have completely evaluated their sinful actions, yesam twa antagatim papam, through pious deeds. I see Abhijit, Saptadeep, and Janami. Okay. They must understand the technical intricacies of Sankhya philosophy. They must worship all demigods sincerely to purify their heart. I will stop here. Now, Prabhuji, you should help me. Who raised the hands first?
Abhijit raised first, and then
Okay.
Saptadeep, and then Janvi, and later Sumati Mataji and Manisha.
Did Janvi raise before also?
I'm not sure, Prabhu. I'm not sure.
So
Abhijit
Prabhu.
probably had raised previously also.
Previously also. Okay, then by that, we will give it to Abhijit. Over to you, Abhijit.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, the answer must be option A.
They must have completely eradicated their sinful actions. Isam twa antagata papam through pious deeds. Sure?
I think so, Prabhu. The answer I was looking for is not in the option, but I'll go with A, I think.
Okay, if you're sure, I'll lock it. And the correct answer is A. Well done. So 4 out of 5. Excellent performance.
So
Congratulations to all the winners and congratulations to all the participants. Thank you very much.
But it's important to announce the winner also of this
Right.
entire 7th chapter. If you remember, I had put
That
in
adds to the excitement now.
yeah. If you remember, I had put in the group, there was a triple tie between Saptadeep, Abhijit, and Sumati Mataji. Okay, all the three
Okay.
were at 100 points prior to today's session for
Right.
this particular chapter. Now,
Right.
unfortunately, Sumati Mataji had minus 50. I mean, she had plus 50 and minus 50.
Right.
So that evened out. So she stays at 100 only. And
Okay.
Abhijit got one question right. So he moves to 150. And Saptadeep
Right.
also got one question right. So he also moves to 150. And
Right.
so basically, we have two people at a tie at 150.
Okay.
So just in case if you have a rapid fire question for both of them, or just so that between them, if they want to select any one winner, you have an option now because we have time also 15 minutes more. So do you have any further questions in your quiz box?
No, I was not prepared for the super over.
Then you can even ask a question, something, Prabhu, but only two of them. Only two of them can participate, and the winner we can decide straight away. Just to ensure that there's one clear winner. That's all. No other objective.
Okay. So let me think of a on-the-spot question.
Anything pertaining to today's class, or maybe in general about the 7th chapter, or whatever you feel like.
Okay.
More pertaining to today's class will be relevant.
Perfect. Can you define Yogamaya in simple words? One line. So who will go first?
Okay, Abhijit clicked raised his hand first.
Okay.
So now here, let me define the rule. If Abhijit gets it right, then we will declare him as the winner. If Abhijit gets wrong, okay, then we will give the chance to Saptadeep to answer. And then if he also gets wrong, still it's a tie. Okay, so here it doesn't mean that if Abhijit gets wrong, Saptadeep is the winner. No, not like that. Both will have to give a correct answer. So we'll give the first chance to Abhijit because he raised his hand first.
Okay. Abhijit, go ahead. You have the chance to win now.
So Yogma in simple terms?
Yeah.
The internal potency of the Lord.
Right? What does it do to a devotee? That is what we were explaining in this class today.
So,
Yogamaya Samavruta.
Yogamaya helps devotees to come closer to the Lord and helps non-devotees to go far from the Lord.
Perfect. This is the answer I was looking for.
Okay, so you are satisfied with the answer. So we'll then.
Yes.
So then Abhijit becomes the winner. Sorry, Saptadeep, you came very close and very narrowly.
Hard luck.
Very, very narrow because we have no choice. We have to declare a winner. But you're runners up. We can say proudly that you're the runners up for chapter 7 and you have a chance to win chapter 8 then. Okay, with your continued focus and attention, surely you will win chapter 8. And also,
actually, I'm very happy, Abhijit Prabhu.
No.
Sorry,
Prabhu, just I
sorry
wanted
to
to make
interrupt.
this quick
Abhijit
thing
Prabhu
that
has answered. I knew he would know the answer. But I'm
very
very
good,
happy.
Abhijit.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations to you from all of us and all the participants, both online and also I'm sure many people might be watching you later also in our recording sessions. Keep it up and keep up your good enthusiasm by participating regularly. You started participating online quite late compared to most of them and because of your CA studies and all that, but we are very happy that your interest is really going deepened and condensed now. That's very good at the right time. So hopefully you will do well in the rest of the chapters also. Yes, over to you, Prabhu. Yes.
Can I say one thing?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. Abhijit wants to say something.
I must say, I gave this to Abhijit. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Abhijit.
Prabhu, I may be a winner today in terms of marks, but Saptadeep Prabhu is the winner because he was the reason he really pushed me every day to come to the classes of our Gita class as well as Arjun Sakha's Prabhu class. Constant reminder he was sending me, and so Krishna really blessed me that I started attending each day whenever there is a class, making time for it because honestly I'm not very good with time. So really trying and praying that I manage well and always make time for the classes. So he's the winner, Prabhu.
Thank you, Saptadeep.
It's not like that. Actually, Krishna inspired me, and just and I know that our Gurujan is. They are very happy whenever a youth, someone like you, participates like that. So it's not me. It's just with them, their mercy and Krishna's mercy, Prabhu.
Very
I have
good.
nothing to do. It's the
Wonderful.
reality, the truth. I'm not trying to be humble or anything.
So I would request, each one of you to motivate one another like that. This is a very good lesson for all of us. Similarly, try to pull in more people, who would like to be, about 50-50. You can just, motivate through your own examples and pull them into the regular sessions so that ultimately they all get benefited. That's the whole idea. Because once you are anchored into these kind of sessions, then you will not leave. Even if you try to leave, Krishna will not leave you then because you have shown the inclination. That's most important. So we need to wrap up the session quickly now. Sakshi Prabhu, you want to say something?
Nothing. I was happy that only if you had listened to the class attentively, you would have come out with the line that I had mentioned very clearly when I was explaining Yogamaya Samavrita. I said, illusion that hides Krishna from a non-devotee, and it's an illusion which takes a devotee closer to Krishna. So, and he got it bang on. Well done, Avijit. That's attentive listening. That's it from my side. Again, let me congratulate all the winners. More than winning, it is participation which is important.
Correct.
Thank you all.
Correct. So thank you all for participating and please join us again next week. We are starting chapter 8 and that's going to be very, very exciting too because that chapter will define our destiny. Like today, the chapter ended on a note that says how to, remember Krishna and what are the benefits of remember Krishna at the time of Antakale. And next chapter will further take it from there and will tell us the pros and the cons of remembering Krishna at the time of death and how to remember him at the time of death in Kali Yuga. Okay, so we all look forward to your participation. We'll announce in the group whether it's going to be on Saturday or Sunday. That is, whether we are going to continue for next week also on Sunday. It depends upon Arjun Saka Prabhu's when he's finishing his 15th chapter. Because in between there were two sessions he could not conduct. So it's quite possible that next Sunday also there might be a session from his side. In that case, we'll have to keep it on. I mean, next Saturday, if he does, then we'll have to keep it on Sunday. If he finishes, then we can keep it on Saturday. So in the next 2 or 3 days' time, I will know about that. I'll announce it in the group. Okay. So thank you all once again. And until next week, Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha, Patita Nam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you very much. Whoever wants to join now, we can switch over to Arjun Saka Prabhu's channel for the 15th chapter, Purushottam Yoga. Hare Krishna. I'm closing this now
Hare Krishna.
and I'll send the recording soon.